Hey everybody, it's Jasmine, your brow expert. Thank you so much for joining me. So today's going to be a kind of a continuation of the brow video I posted last week. It was about an old faded brow tattoo where it turned a little cool tone, more blue on some people. That eyebrow definitely turned very blue. And so I showed you how to naturally cover that. And I will ask you guys to scroll down in a couple of videos down. I do go into more of the brow tattoo, the pros and cons, and what to look out for. This is not my expertise, although I do know some about it. I will help you guys as much as I can, but my job is to just help you guys in the shaping. If you have an old brow tattoo, it might be a good thing, right? Because it's giving you a background. My brows have been tattooed so many times. My first tattoo was about over 10 years ago, maybe even longer. Of course, I've gotten touched up over the years. I always put some sunscreen, a little bit actually, but I always wear some makeup. Most of us think that once you get it tattooed, that's it. I don't like to expose it out in the sun. That can oxidize and turn color. Also, the ink has gotten so much better nowadays. Back then, I don't think there wasn't a lot of choices, but so the ink is better. It shouldn't change that much from what it is. It should just tone down. But you know, our body chemistry is different. Our skin, if you're very oily, there's so many things that go on their skin. So that can also oxidize. So I suggest to just get it touched up, find a really good artist. Maybe not, if they're not close into your area, look slightly outside, but you know, it's your eyebrows. And if you're getting it to touch up on the tattoo, you want to go to someone really good. So if you find someone, find about one or two people and let me know. Maybe I can look at their work and see if they're good or not. So again, today is all about the pink undertone. So I did the cool one last week. Today is about the warm tone. Please subscribe if you like this video, if you're getting some tips and learning from all the videos that I have been posting. That helps me. And thank you for the comments. I will try to get to them as much as I can. Share this with anyone that you know that has this brow, that has the old faded tattoo. And so, yeah, I would say share the love, right? Share the love. So without further ado, let's get into this eyebrow. She actually has very sparse eyebrows. She actually has a lot more hair than it looks, but you can see it's a very, very faded tattoo. It's almost like a light pink, almost a blush tone color. You can see right in the middle of her eyebrows right there. And she's got salt hair, slightly more in the salt, a little bit of pepper. And so, of course, you're wondering, what color should you use? Well, you want to go more ashier, right? So when you have a warm tone on your tattoo, or more pink or even red, you want to go cooler to counteract that, right? So I'm going to show you some outlines as well, because I want to show you the shape I'm going to create for her. So it's not just about the tattoo, but it's always going to be about the shape for me as well. Okay, so I combed it reverse just to show you how much hair she actually does have. But it's sparse, and the outline is showing you that below that curved outline is where I'm going to take most of that hair off by waxing it. So that way it actually gives it more of a defined look. It's easier for her to fill them in as well. So even though you have sparse brows, it's still important to come to an expert like myself and get that waxed off. I'm going to create an outline just to show you what the brows will ultimately look like, well, what I want it to look like once it's shaped. So this is the ideal shape. Now it can be fuller, but you don't want to go too full, because then it's not going to look as realistic. You want to stay within those boundaries and just, and if you make an outline like this, it's a good idea at that time to tweeze any hairs below that outline, because even though you want that full, you want to get more hair, you're looking for more of the density, right? So a lot of times when we're trying to grow our brows out, we're unfortunately not getting all the hairs where we want to. So by having the unwanted hairs waxed off, it will give it a thicker look, as you can see right here. Now that white curve outline is still there, but once I remove that outline, you're going to see all the hairs that I left behind. You're also going to see that pink undertone a little bit easier once I remove that. But so the shape, again, is so important. But when you have that undertone, I often tell my clients, you know, it serves as a stencil, right? So even though you may not like the color, especially for turns more of the warm tone, now that does that a lot because you can be a swimmer, you can be in chlorine, you could be out in the sun. There are so many things, but the good thing is that they didn't go that deep into the skin, so you wanted to turn more this color than really that blue tone, because that means that they went too deep. So this one is a lot easier to work with, and honestly, if she had it even more throughout the whole eyebrow, it's just going to serve as a stencil for her, right? So I'm going to choose an ash brown pencil and powder, but it's mostly going to be pencil on her eyebrows. It's more of an ashier tone. Remember, you got that pink reddish undertone. You want an ashy color. Mine does not have that pink undertone. I've always protected it. Put some makeup over it. Once you get it tattooed, it doesn't mean that you don't put anything over it. You want to protect that, right? So I've always done that, which is why I have kept the color as best as I can. So what I'm doing right now is using a highlighter. I'm going to use a really bright one for myself so you can see the difference. By just doing the highlighter, as you can see right there, it already separates the hair. The highlight grabs it onto the bare skin. So when it's waxed off and all the fuzz is taken off, it's a lot easier to see. So just by applying some light color underneath, now you don't have to use a highlighter, but I always think it's a really good idea. You could also use a concealer as well, but this is so easy, right? So you just place it underneath your eyebrows, and already compared to this side, it almost looks like I filled in my eyebrows. So try this out. Even if you guys don't have a tattoo, always try to get in the habit of this because it really makes a big difference, and it allows you to carry off more of a natural look without feeling like you need to put a lot of color. So like, as I've said, I'm using the Ash Brown Brow Definer on her. I'm using the Granite on myself. Again, I just want to show you guys how, I want to show you guys my brows in a darker way so that way it comes across more on the video. But realistically, if you have her skin tone, her brow tattoo color, and her salt and pepper, more salt, even if it's more pepper, the ash brown is perfect. If you have darker skin, maybe even like myself, the Granite or the ash brown, you can still get away with that because it's ashy. There's no warm tones in this color. Now, the Definer is a really good pencil to use. Here's why. I'm holding it upside down because although I'm doing her brows upside down, I always encourage my clients, and you guys as well, to hold the pencil over the eyebrow as well, especially this kind of pencil because it's flat, right? So by laying it down and just go back and forth like a windshield wiper, it's so easy to do that. So you're going to see it in just a second. And remember, and how many times have I said this? It's all about the pressure as well. So don't be afraid of the dark color. Just make sure you don't press that hard. So I'm actually just starting to touch her skin, barely grazing it over back and forth like a windshield wiper, and going right at that edge between the highlighter and where that hair is. And so already you're seeing some color, but you don't want to see a lot of the color. That's the key. So by now, obviously I'm using a dark color on myself because my tattoo is still kind of in the mid to a dark color. I touched mine up, gosh, I think I touched mine up about 5 years ago. I have not touched up since then because I always put makeup on it and I protect the ink. So, and I was said this in my other videos, but I didn't have much eyebrow hair to begin with. So the tattoo was really something I just wanted to do. Up in the front, I don't do the windshield wiper. I go up and down because this is on most of us, the hairs grow straight up and down, right? So you want to kind of go along with that flow. So I just hold it this way, not this way. I lay the pencil down. You don't want to lay this down as if you're poking yourself. You lay it down and you just brush it up just very lightly, and I'm barely pressing my eyebrows, but I'm gonna just go a little bit higher just so that you can see on me how you can see the color up there, right? So on her, now notice I'm now going on that corner area. That's the arch area. Everything you're going to notice is laying the pencil down or up, but it's always it's laying down on my skin, even though I'm holding the pencil in different ways. That's something I want you to really take away with. So, and here again, I'm laying it down. She has all that hair, right? It's not dense. It's sparse, but it's all there, which is why I'm laying the pencil. I'm just going over it because I don't want it to be so dark. Now, once I complete the whole eyebrow, you can always go back. Once you complete your eyebrow, you can always go back and see some of the areas that can use more of the color by just adding more pressure. Again, that's the key thing. It's all about the pressure. So right here, she doesn't have much of the ink there, but she does have that little hair I left behind. So I'm just going back this way. And again, it's laying down, going, I don't know, in an angle, right? So even on her, it's also going this way, and I'm laying it down this way and going in an angle. So that's important. Here again, I'm just going the arch area, and I'm laying the pencil down, and I'm just going this way towards the end, but I'm going this way, like more of a scratching towards my earlobe right here, as opposed to dragging it down this way. So you notice that her ends are a little bit more up. I like that because it gives it a bit of a brow lift. Now the clear brow gel is so important, especially with her. Look at that. You can see all the strands of her hair, because when the clear brow gel goes over, especially fine hair, you have a full set of eyebrows, just full but not dense, but they're real feathery light. You apply some brow gel over that, it really brings out the hair, as you can see on her eyebrows. So just a quick little recap. It's just a light graze of the pencil. Now, it doesn't have to be a brow definer, but as long as you use a pencil. And look at that before and after. Such a big difference. It's all about that pressure I was telling you about earlier. But you barely even see the pink in the after, but you see that color matching so good with her hair color. That's something I want you to take away with, okay? So this is all about helping you guys pick the right color. But it's just remember, it's an ashy tone if you have that warm skin color and that pink undertone. But I just love this before and after because it makes such a big impact. And most importantly, you can see the hair. So that's the help with the brow gel. And it's also without having to apply so much color on. So it's the right shade. The color can go on dark, so you need the right pressure. Hope that you got something out of this. Please let me know in the comment box if this helped you out. But for me, and it always will be about the shape, I will always try to help you guys with any other questions as far as the tattoo. And if you have more questions about that, go ahead and ask me. I'll try to find the answer for you. But I do suggest looking into some artists, maybe not close to you because there isn't any, but somewhere around that vicinity. There's so many more popping up here and there, so definitely keep an eye out. I'm here to help you guys in getting the best shape possible and getting the best color possible. So check out the old video that I did post on the tattoo. Let me know what you think about this video and definitely subscribe. I will see you guys, next week. Thank you for your time.